beautiful story about a Hasidic rabbi, a Jewish leader, a tzaddik and a makubal, a Kabbalist, person that really was living in the heavens but walking on earth, walking with his young son who would become a leader of Israel as well. Protection. You know, when you got protection in Hebrew, they call it, when you got connections, you know, you get the job. So they're walking, strolling, talking about things, and the son just unconsciously grabs some leaves that are, you know, from a branch or a tree or bush, and crumples them. And the father stops him and says, "My son, in that moment where you grabbed those leaves and crushed them, crumpled them, were you conscious that you're part of God's world, you're a visitor here in God's world? Were you respecting and appreciating that you're in God's world when you did that?" Let us take a moment to appreciate where that rabbi, that man, was standing between heaven and earth, respecting, appreciating, and understanding that he's a guest in God's world. And teaching a young boy that you would think, let him play, what's the big deal? He just crumpled a few leaves. But no, because he was teaching that boy who has, children have an amazing potential and their minds are open, they're sponges. We can build children into giants. Instead, we build them into overgrown babies. That child he understood how ready he was to absorb truth, real goodness, purpose, and he became a Jewish leader because he had the right father, the right teacher. Today, fathers are not teachers, and I include myself in that, unfortunately, on some level. We are just, you know, banks. We're a bank, we're a supermarket, we're a grocery store, you know, we're a sneaker store. You know, right now we're dealing with Cole Haans. That's the shoe on the market right now that my son wants. So unfortunately, sometimes we as parents can become physical providers. We provide clothing, we provide food, we provide shelter, but what does it mean to really be a father and mother? What does it mean to nurture? What does it mean to raise? What does it mean to have a real child, so that you can only understand when you look at the story of Esther. Esther was an orphaned girl, and she was raised by her uncle Mordechai. And over there, it says that Mordechai was Omen et Hadassah. Mordechai literally raised, built, helped create, was a partner in creating Hadassah, which was Esther, the heroine of the story. That's what it means. It means when you feed them and you provide for them, of course physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, when you create them and give them eyes to see the truth, the way this rabbi was showing his son and the way Mordechai showed Esther, then you are the person's father. And that is why a teacher, a rabbi, you don't have to be literally rabbi, you could teacher, someone who teaches his neighbors, for child, Torah, it's as if he gave birth to him as well. We're not taking anyone away from their real parents. Parents are amazing. They're great for getting shoes. When you need a new suit, they're great. But when someone takes from his time and shares from his life experience and his learning, again, life experience is great, but we can all experience going around a merry-go-round and get nowhere. So life experience together with education, with learning, with truth, not just, we'll call whatever we want art. And it's actually a nude magazine, we'll call it art. That's not what we mean. We mean when you search for truth and you've lived and you've earned the right to be listened to because you worked hard, and you share that time of yours and wisdom of yours with those younger than you, those that know less than you, you in some way are creating them. You're helping to create them. You're helping to build them. And you're like their parent as well. That's why your students are considered your children.